Hello everyone, I'm back with another video. I didn't think I'd be making videos this quickly, but I'm just on my way to the gym because the weather is, well, it doesn't really reflect just how bad it is out there, but it's pretty miserable for cycling, let's put it that way. I wanted to go out today, but the roads are heavily flooded. It's just dangerous in my opinion. Unless you absolutely have to go out riding in this, I wouldn't bother. It's just dangerous with all the cars and the wet and it's just an added danger you just don't need. So I'm going to go into the gym today and just do a little session that I like to do. Sorry, my colleagues, my gym's at my work, so I've just shown it up here and there's people walking past my car and waving to me. So I'm just going to show you what I do, what works for me. This is what I'm calling phase 2. I didn't start till September this year because I wanted to get my fitness back up on the cycling. And then I thought, how can I make improvements? I wanted to strengthen my body. So I wanted to strengthen my legs for cycling and just general all over, just get myself a little bit more fit, a little bit more toned. And yeah, just it all helps. It all helps get yourself back to how you want to be. You may be similar as me. You might have, neglected yourself for a little while and just want to get yourself back on track, as I keep saying it because that's the core of what I am doing and what I want to share. And even if it resonates with one person and they think, oh yeah, I really should get out there and do something, if I help just one person, that's good enough for me. If nothing else, I'm doing it for me, but if I can help people along the way, fantastic. So yeah, I'm just going to go into the gym, do a bit of recording. Disclaimer, I'm not an expert. I will show you what works for me. The exercises I do, the stuff has worked for me. A little bit later I will be sharing about the diet that I've had to adopt over the last year, because it's true, the saying, you may have heard the saying, you can't out-train a good bad diet. That's very true. One of the case in points things is the big thing I learned about sugar and carbohydrates. I only eat sugar or anything with carbs in it now if I'm cycling, when you actually need it. Again, I'm not a nutrition expert. I'm going to share what has worked for me. People can try things out, people don't have to, but basically how I got to where I am now, I took various bits and pieces from other sources, because you can't do this alone unless, well, maybe you can, but I had to take different ideas, different examples from other people on the internet and find out what worked for me. It takes a while, what works for you, because you'll be at different strengths, you'll be at different fitness levels. You just got to find something that works for you, keep at it, and eventually the results will pour in and you'll think, yeah, it's working. I feel great. I feel great again. So yeah, I'm going to head in now, and get myself ready, go and get changed, and then I'll do a little bit of video about what I do. It's not mental, don't worry. I'm not going for I'm not trying to bulk up like Arnold Schwarzenegger or anything like that, because as a cyclist I want to keep myself strong but as light as possible. So you won't see me doing, I can't even think of an example, but you won't see me lifting Arnold Schwarzenegger weights or anything like that, because I'm trying to tone instead of bulk up. That's my objective. That's not everyone's objective, but I'm just trying to tone and strengthen instead of bulk up. So I found a little routine. It only takes about an hour. I try and do it twice a week, sometimes 3 times, but an hour, if you can fit it in, even half an hour is good. Everything is good. Everything you're doing is good. Even if you're doing 10 minutes, half an hour, if you can find the time, if you can just get something done, then you will start to see results. It will take time. It will take time. As I've said in my other videos, this isn't a quick process. It's taken me a year to get where I am now, where I feel like, yeah, I'm on top of things. It does take time, but you will see the results, and if you can stick at it, I promise you the journey is worth it. I mean, I'm not even at the end now. As I said, this is phase 2. I'm now incorporating weights and other exercises into my fitness regime, just to mix it up, because cycling, I love cycling, and I know the channel's called Back on Track Cycling, but it's twofold. It's cycling and getting back on track. Anyway, that is enough waffle for a minute. I'm going to go in, and I shall see you when we're in there. So I'm in the gym. Luckily for me, it is empty. Best kind of gym is an empty gym. So yeah, basically I start with I go on the treadmill. I don't run. I put it on full incline for about 30 minutes and just walk at a decent pace on a full incline. This gets your heart rate up. It warms up your body, and also it burns a ton more calories and burns more fat. Slower, more intense things tend to burn more fat, from what I've been told, and it seems to work. So yeah, I mean, you can go for a run on a treadmill, but I mean, me and running, they don't mix at all. My body hates running. I end up getting shin splints. I end up, the list goes on. But yeah, so I'm going to jump on the treadmill and do my half an hour warm up, and that's just going to be at full incline and a fairly decent pace. So on the treadmill, quick start. So this is teaching people to suck eggs, some people, and then I just ramp up the incline as much as it will go. So on this it's 15, and I build up to a nice sustainable pace. And I do this for about half an hour. And you'll feel it in your calf muscles because it'll work out your calf muscles. It'll build up a nice sweat, but you won't be absolutely shagged at the end of it. 15 minutes in. Definitely feel it in your calf muscles. Good sweat on too. Best way to warm up. You can run, obviously, if you really want to, but this works for me. Obviously, it goes without saying as well, something I forgot to mention. Get some headphones and listen to some music. I see some people in here without music, and I just can't think of anything worse. Well, there you go. That's the half an hour incline warm up I like to do. Definitely got a good sweat on, and my whole body feels warmed up now, so I'm ready to do the next stage. Oh man. Grab a towel. Oh. Oh. Right, so yeah, that's what I do to start warming up. It's important to know. It's something Arnold Schwarzenegger taught me actually in one of his audio books that wasn't about exercise. It's just about looking at life goals, basically. It's important to have a goal. It's important to have a goal when you come and do things like this, because obviously there's lots of equipment in a gym, but you know, and you could use all of it or none of it or half of it, you know. But if you've got a goal in mind, like my goal is to strengthen my legs, try and tone my chest because it's a bit flabby, and my stomach. So when I come in here, I work on those three groups and don't do anything else. I mean, there's a rowing machine, and there's that's cross trainers, and there's other bits and pieces that'll do like your shoulders and your biceps and all this lot. But my goal is to do basically chest, stomach, legs, and that's what I work on. So it's important to choose areas of yourself that you want to improve and just work on those. As I said, I'm not going to tell you what reps to do or what weights to do or anything like that. That's entirely personal, and I am not a professional trainer. I am just showing you what I do, what works for me, and yeah. Right, I'm going to grab a quick drink of water and then crack on with the next thing. So this gym's a pretty small gym, but it's got all the main bits of equipment in it that you could need. As I said, this is the gym at work. So the things I mainly focus on are the chest press machine to tone my chest, the leg press machine to do my legs. I've got some loose weights over here. I've got a little routine with those as well. I've got a pretty decent floor space. Yeah, I mean, I know lots of gyms are different, and the big corporation gyms are going to look a hell of a lot different than this. And going to a gym can be quite daunting, actually, because it's just one of those things. I mean, I'm sure lots of people are fine with it, but, you know, I find I feel really self-conscious in a gym. But you really shouldn't, because everyone in a gym is there to do the same things you are, and that's to get fit and improve your fitness and your life. So yeah, just try and ignore the little voices in your head, and just, as long as you've got a plan, a routine in your head, just go in there, do that, and bounce. Starting with the chest press, I currently on 50 pounds or 23 kilograms. As I said, I'm going for toning. I'm going for toning and not bulk. It's very important to set these machines up right for you. They are adjustable in many different aspects, height, how you position yourself. So it's important to set yourself up right. Most gyms, they will have an induction to make sure you're using all the equipment right so you don't injure yourself. So that's an important thing to say. Make sure you know how to use this equipment before you use it, because you can injure yourself very easily. So the chest press, obviously, it's just, you see people doing bench presses with the big barbells. It's that, but on a machine, basically. So you're extending out, you're coming back, try not to lock your joints, and you just sort of want to do, I do about 10 of these just to warm up the muscles. And you want it nice, slow and controlled. You don't want to be doing this. That's no good. You want to be nice, controlled and stretching all the fibres. As I said, this is just what works for me. Once I've done a few of those, and then jump up. So let's get a good resistance. But I don't go mad. Now that's at 70, and it's just about slow, controlled movements. And I do personally reps of these of 40. Just slow, controlled. As I said, the reps and the weight are entirely up to you. And yeah, whatever feels good for you. So yeah, and that works all in here, once you tone up, and it works also in the triceps as well. So yeah, that's what I start on. I've got a set, I do a set of those. Yeah, so I'll just finish this set, and then we'll move on to the next thing that I do. So this is the leg press machine. This works once your thighs and your bum, basically. This comes in handy a lot for cycling, because obviously you're using your legs quite a lot. So you can set your weight. I'm blessed actually, because my legs have always been quite strong. But if you do this enough, you will feel your legs getting even stronger, especially on hill climbing. So again, make sure the machine's set up properly for you. And it's just a case of never snatching your knees. And it's slow, controlled movements. Watch the weights go all the way to the bottom, but don't let them hit the bottom. Let them down slowly, and you'll really feel it. You'll really feel it straight away, depending on what weight you're using. And this is great for leg strength. And you will notice about 2 weeks of doing this 3 times a week, you will notice that your hill climbing and just your general power in the legs is shot up significantly. And I do a moderate weight on these, just enough to really feel it. And I do about 40 of these in a set. If you can't quite do that many, as I said, this is all personal preference. You find a rep and a set that works for you. Because we're all different, we're all strong, we're all either stronger or weaker than the next person. So yeah, this isn't telling you what to do. This is just showing you what I do, once again. This next exercise, this sucks. There's no there's no beating around the bush on this one. This is planks, which is going to strengthen your stomach muscles. Unless you unless you're blessed with extremely strong stomach muscles or rock hard abs, you'll be laughing at this. But yeah, make no mistake, doing planks sucks. It hurts and it's difficult. I do incline planks because that's what works for me. I'm not going to teach you how to do a plank, look it up, but I will show you just me doing one. And start small. You might be able to hold it for 30 seconds. You might be able to hold it for a minute. I'm up to 1.5 minutes at a time now, but I had to build up to that because it's hard work. It's hard work. Anyone watching this who's ever tried to do a plank or does them regularly, they will be nodding their heads in agreement. And I think even people that are quite strong in the stomach, they'll say, yeah, they suck. But it's a great exercise for your core muscles and to strengthen your core, because a core is something you overlook when you're cycling, actually, but it does help a lot. It does help a lot having a stronger core when you're cycling. Oh. Right, how can I set this up? There we go. So, yeah, I'm just going to count in my head. But yeah, so just... Yeah, there we go. That was just a minute, but as I said, they suck. They really suck, but stick at it, and eventually you'll be able to do it for longer and longer, and it won't feel as horrendous. Anyway, crack on to the next thing. Right, well, I'm just nearing the end of my session. It's only about an hour's session. I'm going to go and sit in the sauna for half an hour before I have to do school runs and things. But yeah, Another piece of advice is what was bestowed upon me from an audio book from Arnold Schwarzenegger, actually. And it's not even about exercise, it's about his life lessons, his life goals and his advice and things like that. And the key thing he's driving is to have a goal and set your sights on a goal. So maybe it might be lose weight, get fit, bulk up, you know, choose something you want to do. I wanted to get my fitness back before I was 40. So as I was going to my 40s, I wanted to be fit, I wanted to be healthy. So, you know, for longevity, because I've got a daughter, so I wanted to be fit and healthy for her. I wanted to be able to run around the park, you know, as I got older. So I just focused in on that goal, and I just worked towards it and work and work and work and work. And it takes a while, it does take a while, but you will get there like I have. And I'm nowhere even near finished. I've got quite a bit to go. I've still got quite a bit of timber on me I want to get rid of. But I've done the main legwork of getting the fitness back, and now it's just, you know, incrementally getting rid of the other bits that I want to get rid of. So the next bit is to tone up, you know, to take what I have and tone it. So yeah, I've shown you everything I've done in a gym. As I said, it's not a tutorial. It's not how you should do things. I'm just showing you what I'm doing and what I've done. As I said, and pick a goal. Definitely pick a goal. I mean, my goal is to tone my chest, tone my stomach, and strengthen my legs. That's why I focus on those three bits. And yeah, I mean, you can come in here and you can do a little bit of everything, but would it be really focusing on what you want to do? According to Arnold Schwarzenegger, he says no. He says you need to focus on a goal, whatever that may be, and just keep working on that goal until you've achieved it. So, yeah. So that's the end of this video. Yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. To a bit.